Let's just jump right in. The entire credit system, the one we've all gotten used to, is getting a massive overhaul. And you know what? The rules are changing, whether we're ready for it or not. Seriously, what worked for you yesterday might actually hurt you tomorrow. So we're going to break down exactly what's happening and, more importantly, how you can stay ahead of the curve. And wow, this quote right here really sets the stage. We're talking about people with 700, even 750 scores getting denied for loans and having absolutely no idea why. It's not just about that three-digit number anymore. It's about your entire credit profile, and believe me, lenders are looking at it in a completely new way.
So what is the single biggest change? Well, it's this fundamental shift from looking at a snapshot to watching a full-length movie. I mean, what if lenders could see the whole story of your financial life unfold over time, not just one single moment? Well, guess what? That is exactly what's happening right now.
And this is the engine driving that change. It's something called trending data. That T in the new FICO 10T? Yeah, that stands for trended. These new models look back over the last 2 full years to see which direction you're headed. Are your balances kind of creeping up every month? Or are you consistently knocking them down? That trend, that's now one of the most critical factors.
This right here is the absolute best way to think about it. The old system was just a photo. It only cared about your balance on the one day it got reported. But the new system, it's a 2-year movie. This means that whole strategy of maxing out a card but then paying it off in full right before the due date, that can now look like really risky, volatile behavior to a lender. Consistency is the new name of the game, for sure.
All right, so now that we get this whole movie concept, let's look at the new actors on the stage, the new data points the system is pulling in to tell that story. And honestly, some of these might really surprise you. Okay, if you use buy now, pay later services, you need to listen up. For years, these things have lived in the shadows, totally separate from your credit report. Well, not anymore. Specifically, Affirm has started reporting to the credit bureaus. Now, Klarna and Afterpay are kind of holding out for now, arguing it could hurt consumers, but the door is officially open. Now, this is where things get really interesting, because this could be a huge opportunity. These new models can now factor in alternative data, stuff like your rent, your utility payments, even your phone bill. So if you're a renter who's been paying on time for years and years, this could be a total game changer, finally giving you credit for that consistency. And while some new data is being added, other things are set to be taken away. And here's some fantastic news. The plan has been to completely wipe medical collections off of credit reports. We're talking about a change that could give about 15 million Americans cleaner reports overnight, with an average score bump of around 20 points. That's a huge step towards separating a health crisis from your financial future. But just when you thought that was settled, the plot thickens. The rules quietly changed, and the whole situation around medical debt has become incredibly confusing. A judge in Texas has now ruled that actually medical debt over $500 can be reported. Now, some sources are pointing to a weakened Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, that's the CFPB, the government agency that's supposed to protect us, as a reason for this reversal. It's left a lot of people caught in the middle of a policy tug-of-war. Okay, so with all this new data and these new ways of looking at it, there are some hidden traps you really need to know about. Let's get into the new rules you have to play by. Let's go back to buy now, pay later for a second. Look, using one plan responsibly might actually help you build credit, but stacking 4, 5, or even more of them at the same time, to a lender, that is a massive behavioral red flag. It just screams that you're overextended, and under these new models that are watching for patterns, that kind of behavior just stands out like a sore thumb. So here's the bottom line. It is no longer enough to just not be late on your payments. The system is now designed to reward stability and, well, punish chaos. They want to see consistent, predictable, and stable financial behavior over long stretches of time. And here's something that most people just don't know. You don't have one single credit score. Nope, you have dozens. Think about it. A mortgage lender is looking at your risk over 30 years. That's totally different from an auto lender who's focused on a 5-year loan. Each one uses a specialized model, which is why the score you see on a free app can be so wildly different from the one a lender actually uses to say yes or no. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. Here is a definite, clear-cut win for all of us. You know how you apply for a mortgage and then your phone immediately explodes with calls from other lenders? Those are called trigger leads. Well, as of March 2026, credit bureaus will no longer be allowed to sell your information like that. It's a huge win for your privacy and your sanity.
So, knowing all this, how do you actually prepare? The system has evolved, but here's the thing. You don't need more income, you just need a better strategy. Let's walk through the tactical game plan to put you in the strongest possible position.
All right, here are 3 powerful moves you can make right now. First, pay your balance down before the statement closing date, not the due date. The closing date is when the balance actually gets reported. Second, hop on your banking app and request a credit limit increase. It's usually a soft pull, so it won't ding your score and it instantly lower their utilization. And third, if you have a single pesky late payment, just call and politely ask for a goodwill adjustment. You'd be surprised how often it works.
And here's what you should absolutely not do, especially in the year leading up to a big loan application. Don't open that store card just for a 15% discount. Don't finance a new couch. And this one is so important. Whatever you do, do not close your old credit cards after you pay them off. That can actually shorten your credit history and jack up your utilization ratio, 2 things you really want to avoid. So if there's one number to burn into your brain, it's this one. The old advice was always, keep your credit utilization under 30%. Well, that's not good enough anymore. To look like a rock star to these new models, you really want to aim for under 10%. That's the new elite tier. So ultimately, it all comes down to this. Your financial history isn't just a series of random snapshots anymore. It's a continuous story that lenders are watching very, very closely. So the question you have to ask yourself is, what kind of story are you telling them?
At the end of the day, it's not about how much you earn, it's about how well you manage it. If this video helped you understand money a little better, then you're already ahead of most people. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay connected with Investing SQ, where we simplify finance for your everyday decisions. Before you go, don't forget to comment from which part of the world you are watching, and don't miss our next video. It might just save you thousands.